Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, the wrestling world never stops, and neither do me and Tom, and that's why we are here for the Wrestling with Marks, Tom and Harrison podcast for our July 6th review of Monday Night Raw. Tom, it is great to see you again.
It's good to see you, sir. It's been a while. It feels like it's been a couple of months, hasn't it? It's only
It
been
feels like it. Feels like
it
it.
feels like a
Unfortunately,
couple of
we do have
weeks.
some stuff going on outside the podcast. We work
Right.
9 to 5 jobs, and we got families. But don't worry, we're bringing the action to you, no matter what, at all costs. So, Tom, we have a very interesting Raw, and again, I'll say this. Let me prep
Really
this.
interesting Raw, let me
We
tell you.
let me just kind of set the tone here, and let me give WWE some props right now.
Of
Even though
course,
again,
of
we
course.
need a lot.
Please set the tone.
WWE needs
Bring us right
still
in
a
there.
lot of work.
Yep.
We need a lot of work still, and that's okay. But I would say consistently, I think this is about the third or fourth week that I've done a row and said this. Monday Night Raw continues to be the best weekly show that WWE produces.
And
Is
you know
Monday
what?
Night Raw.
And I hate to say it, man. Raw's always been that show. To me, at least, it's always been that show. Up until SmackDown was brought in, and then SmackDown got hot. Again, it's always been a back and forth, but recently, like you've just mentioned, Raw's been on fire. And I don't know about you and everybody else out there in the world, but it felt like an episode of 90s Raw. Just from the opening segment alone.
There are definitely some themes here that 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 reflect 90s Raw. There are
I
definitely some
mean,
themes
I'm
here.
telling you, the TKO, they may be having a rocky moment, for everyone knows that they're, it's split decisions. It's split right now. Um, you know, there's so much segments and so many parts into this Raw. It brings you back to certain eras. Well, at least to me, for the old school fans. I don't know if many of you are out there listening to this, but to me, it felt such a nostalgic Raw. And he'll bring us right to the beginning point. What do we have, man? Sami Zayn.
Sure. So
Sami
we are
Zayn,
going
man.
to we're going to hop right into the big elephant in the room. However, before that, here's the prep to that. So Raw opens up with Sami Zayn, everybody's the guy who has just won the WWE championship. Tom, remember the last good guy that everybody he claims he is. I don't know that how well that holds up, but nevertheless, the last good, real good guy, our new WWE champion. So this episode of Raw is about 9 days in. He arrives in a BMW convertible into Chicago, coming through the Allstate Arena. He gets out, he shakes all the producers' hands, security, whatnot. He's met by Cody Rhodes. Sami Zayn proceeds to tell Cody exactly what he thinks. Not what he thinks, but what Cody, he knows what Cody's thinking. And Cody corrects him and, hey, well, since you know this, let me tell you exactly what I'm thinking. Well, you're right. We end up seeing Sammy walk off screen, and then immediately, I was like, damn, Gunther gives Sammy time to walk off camera, but Gunther attacks Cody and takes him out.
Well,
For some reason, Cody's head ends up in between the car door and the actual frame of the vehicle. Gunther kicking it, squishing his head, ultimately taking him out,
you
and
know,
tells Sammy, "I'm coming for that championship," which then
this
takes us to
this is what I mean. It reminds me such of a nostalgic Raw. These segments alone, man, how vicious can you get? I mean, I know this segment basically is based off Sami Zayn, but Gunther, man,
yeah.
I
Mhm.
think we're seeing a Reign of Terror Gunther. Just like we
Ladies and
did
gentlemen,
see a Reign
if
of
anybody
Terror of
doesn't
Triple
realize,
H. This is a Reign of Terror
yet, ladies and
Gunther.
gentlemen, yeah,
This is a
no, it,
desperate Gunther, and this is a very dangerous man right now, man. I mean, he took out Cody Rhodes the beginning of the night, which leads
I
us
was
to
gonna
have
say,
a
ladies
mystery
and gentlemen,
opponent.
if nobody has realized it yet, Tom lives in 1998, which is just fine, and that appeals to a lot of people, and that's okay. But yes, this seems like a Gunther. Here's the thing. Now, of course, we see him moving into a Nick Aldis has been put on administrative leave, and we see Gunther kind of being put into a program with Nick Aldis, which could lead to Nick Aldis coming out of retirement to face Gunther. Gunther being the retirement guy. Do I think that Gunther needs to put Nick back into retirement? No. Do I think Nick Aldis needs even to come in out of retirement? No. However,
No.
if we remember, dude, for those of you who think, okay, look, for those WWE fans out there that are just seeing Nick Aldis in a suit and tie, this guy was a former NWA heavyweight champion not long ago. This guy could go. One of the remember anybody for old school fans out there. Anybody remember the name Magnus? Does that sound
Magnus
familiar?
was
This
a
was
really
Magnus.
good in-ring when he was Magnus, he was a good in-ring performer. He
Yeah,
was
and
insanely
he
good.
wrestled,
He
and he also
wrestled.
wrestled in the NWA as Nick Aldis. But again,
Yeah.
is Gunther seeming a little desperate right now? You could say that he's kind of going off the rails right now.
Reign
Do
of
I
Terror.
think possibly? Do I think that this is the the path I want him to go down? Maybe not necessarily, but we'll see how it could be good TV. It seems like it's been good TV so far.
It's been to me, I think it's been amazing TV so far. Really. I
There you
mean,
go.
it's been really entertaining, especially when they do stuff like this. I think, TKO needs to take a step back and let Hunter cook, and this is a result
That's what a lot
of
of
them
fans have been
doing that.
saying. So for the last couple of years, and
And this
pissed
is a
IWC, IWC is pissed off.
I mean, this is a result of it, you know? If TK would
Well,
learn,
we'll see if Triple H can keep the pan hot and strike while it's hot. We'll see.
I see Kitty can, but let's go to the next segment,
So that
mystery
was the
the opponent,
precursor, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to hop right in
the
to
main
our
event.
main event in Chicago. So the long story short is that Adam Pearce said, Sami Zayn, no, don't you worry. You're going to defend the WWE title tonight, which we then get to the main event. Oh, big secret. Who's it going to be? And here's the thing. Before we get to this, I want to kind of ease into this one, Tom. And we're in Chicago. We're at the All-State Arena, almost 20 years to the date of a certain somebody. Now, there's some controversy behind this, decision, for a couple reasons, and I understand them. And we're going to cover this. However, um, you know, I like how WWE tried to keep the surprise, try to keep it feeling like a surprise, even though it was, I mean, right here. It was the answer was right there. Come on. So anyway,
Yeah.
Sami Zayn comes out to the ring, and boy, who is it? A great callback spot as the garage door to the All-State Arena is rising. If you remember, not long ago, I think the last time we were in Chicago at the All-State Arena, Drew McIntyre murders CM Punk on TV, and we see the infamous thing where Drew McIntyre is just standing over Punk in that very same garage door. And in comes CM Punk to wrestle Sami Zayn for the WWE Championship in Chicago. The first time we've seen him, number one, hold on, not done yet. No, it gets better, folks. Remember, this is the first time we've seen him in how many months since WrestleMania? Number one. And number two, remember all those reports that everybody was saying, oh, Punk is done and there's creative frustrations and he's done. Well, he's
Now
back.
let me add to that right there. When
He's
TK
back.
when TKO and the reports came out saying that Punk was leaving, it caused quite a lot of controversy on the internet. And you know
Controversy
what?
was an understatement.
I'm very glad. I'm very glad that TKO, the WWE, has found a way to use the internet and manipulate it, so that way it causes this division. It causes this, this controversy that
But
goes
this
around like
buzz, if you
crazy.
will.
The what ifs, the buts, and everything else. And man, with CM Punk, almost 20 years, and
20 years to the
comes
day.
out, yeah. And like you said, he comes out through that garage ready to fight Sami Zayn, and let me tell you, it was one hell of a match.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What an in ring. By the way, just the match in general.
The match in general,
Awesome.
man,
Awesome.
phenomenal.
Great.
You had stolen finishers. You had, they gave
Just
everything they
a
got.
great technical. I think it was a pretty good damn just a good TV match. Really
It
good TV
was.
match.
It was.
Just awesome. And remember, this is the first time they've met on Raw since CM Punk has been back in WWE. I want to say sometime last year, we did see on a random Monday Night Raw, Tom won before you and I met. If you remember
Right.
the match, it was CM Punk versus Sami Zayn.
I
No
remember
title
that
on the line.
match.
It was just
It
damn
was just
hey.
them two.
let's see what you can do. And Punk won. I believe Punk went over in that match, if I'm correct. Well, let's
Well,
just
just like
rip the
this one.
Band-Aid off. And Punk goes over, and in Chicago, almost 20 years to the day, in the same arena, Punk defeats Sami Zayn for the WWE Championship. Almost 20 years to the day that he defeats John Cena
And
for
kisses the
said
camera
WWE
goodbye.
Championship. Now that we're past that, the reason why is because it becomes from CM Punk that as soon as that 3 count hits, it becomes nuanced. What I mean by that is there are so many points, controversies, ideas that we can pull just from Punk winning tonight.
Absolutely.
Number
I mean,
one,
just that kiss goodbye. First of all, what a nod to back to 2012, 2011, where he
yeah,
faced John
2011,
Cena. Yeah,
yeah,
2011, where he faced John Cena, won the title, blew him a kiss, and he left. This
and
is
Michael
like the
Cole's
same.
words.
This is the same Punk that I loved watching. That's the Punk that I remember. He kissed Sami Zayn's title reign goodbye and said to his
He
wife,
looked a
"I'll be
little older, but
home."
that's okay.
He
Glad a little
did,
more gray this time. That's all right.
but he looked at the camera and said, "Honey, I'll be home in 20 minutes." He literally won that title and left.
Did you see the picture afterward?
Oh yeah. No, I don't think. No, wait. What picture? There's a picture?
So if you remember the infamous fridge picture?
Oh, okay.
So last night on X, Punk goes in and he's at home and it's already on Twitter. You can go see after this podcast is over. He put the title back in the fridge and took a picture again and posted it last night.
What? That is such a
Okay.
Punk. That is CM Punk to a T, though, man. It
Yeah.
really is.
So here's where this gets nuanced. Okay. The number one, I mean, this is only what? At the time of the recording of this podcast, this is roughly 24 hours later.
Right.
The callback, the kiss, the fridge, the refrigerator photo, Chicago. Also, after all that's said and done, the fans now in 2026 very represents fans these days. Now, this is where if we have any viewers today, I think I speak for me and Tom, where I'm going to request that you guys comment down below. Is CM Punk a hypocrite? Now, the reason why fans are saying he's a hypocrite is because that with this win, number one, he's an older guy. Number two, he's keeping down a guy that's been grinding, Sami Zayn, for the last 24 years and finally won a championship just to come back and be gone. And number three, this kind of goes hand in hand with his age. If you remember back in 2011, the infamous pipe bomb on the stage, the whole theme of that pipe bomb was Punk venting about frustrations and who's in the spotlight. Remember the infamous line, the
Yeah.
fact that Dwayne is in the main event of WrestleMania makes me sick. Now, the fans online are saying, well, Punk's a hypocrite because he's 48 years old. He kept a guy down that's in the main event saying should have had it. And number three, you're gone. And you're doing the same thing that The Rock did. How dare you, Phil? So, Tom, I have to ask, is CM Punk a hypocrite for this? I personally I don't know that to be true.
Heel, let me begin my thoughts with one of these.
Some water, yeah.
Kool-Aid. Close.
Kool-Aid mixed with something else, ladies and gentlemen. A Bloody Mary, yeah. I'm kidding.
Not yet.
He said not yet.
Punk is not a hypocrite.
He's not. I don't
Here's
think
why
so.
he's not a hypocrite. And I hate to break it to you folks, all those Sami Zayn lovers out there, all you Sami Zayn fans. I'm going to call you Sammy Crybabies, just like Cody Crybabies. All you Sammy Crybabies out there need to understand the fact, now this is why I'm going to be blunt and break the ice to you. Need to accept the fact that he's not championship material. World championship material. He is mid-card at best. Right there
Tom,
with Jey Uso.
Tom, hey, whoa. Tone it down, Tom.
No.
Out there, Tom.
No.
Oh,
No.
hey, you can't.
No.
It's a PG. Hey, Tom, this is a PG program. You need to keep it
I don't
PG.
even know if I could say that, but I don't even know if that's PG. But let me tell you, these are not spoilers. These are facts. Sami Zayn is not championship material. At least world championship material, ladies and gentlemen. He
Allow me
is
to interject on that.
mid-card at best. Just like
Allow me
Jey
to
Uso.
interject. Allow me to interject very quickly. There's also another, as many reports are coming out, the wrestling world again never stops. There is a report that fans, if I'm sure you guys have seen, that may substantiate Tom's claim here, and you may agree with, and that is a report recently came out, I think today, that quote Sammy's WWE, and this is after the title loss. I've seen this
Yep,
today, this morning.
I saw it today too.
That WWE does not believe that Sami Zayn is, quote, a money mover or a money maker or he's not main
Because he's
event
not.
guy. And that was a considerable factor contributing to his loss.
This man would be
Not, I'm saying
TKO.
it unbiasedly at the moment.
Now, I'm going to say this unbiased and biased. TKO needs to flip the heel switch on him. And they need to do it. I've been saying this for weeks now. They need to flip that heel switch. This last good guy, back and forth, I'm a heel, I'm a face thing, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. As much as I'm trying to agree with people at this, I'm sorry, I can no longer sell it. It just doesn't work for me. You either are a face or a heel, and there's very few people that are anti-heroes, like Punk, John Cena can be one,
LA Knight.
LA Knight, Roman Reigns.
Roman, if the story's right, Roman Reigns can be in the middle every now and then too. Every now and then.
Sami Zayn is not a moneymaker. You had this man being booed for weeks straight, and you haven't understand or listened to the crowd booing him, and yet you still want to have this slow story build for this heel turn. There is no need for a slow story build for Sami Zayn turning heel. You hear the crowd, every time he walks out, he's not cheered. The only time he was cheered when he was in Saudi Arabia Night of Champions. CM Punk had got more of a pop than Sami Zayn did. CM Punk
That's
puts
because they were in
asses.
Chicago. No, come on,
Doesn't
Tom.
matter.
It's 'cause they were in
Doesn't matter
Chicago.
where CM Punk goes. Could be Chicago, could be Detroit, could be LA. As soon as that man walks out, he's getting a pop. He's putting ass in seats. When people look at a card, they go, who's wrestling tonight? CM Punk. Oh, gotta be there because CM Punk's there. No one's saying, oh, I gotta be there because Sami Zayn's gonna be there. I'm sorry. And if you are, you must be that diehard Sami Zayn guy. But I hate to break
As he would,
here.
as he would say, the day ones, guys.
Well, your day ones need to understand that your top guy is not a top guy. He's mid-card. He doesn't put money in the booths. He doesn't put ass in seats.
We all know who that top guy is, and he's full of ego, all ego Ethan Page. But that's a different podcast. The point being is that
they just need to bury Ethan Page too.
You gotta let these Sami Zayn fans down. Now, two more points I also want to make on this topic of Sami Zayn. So I've seen something out there today on X. Now that all the dust is settled and people are kind of taking everything in. I did see a post about Triple H and Sami Zayn. How Triple H views Sami Zayn. A lot of people argue that this point was a lot of when Vince was still in control, and you could argue yes or no. Now, while Triple H has been in that creative seat, whether or not Vince would have a little bit of say-so or he still owned it or whatever the case may be, under Triple H, Sami Zayn has done the following. He has won the WWE Championship, as we've seen recently. Had a WrestleMania main event with his best friend Kevin Owens in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, in their backyard against Kevin Owens at Elimination Chamber last year in a wonderful match.
Vince McMahon.
I believe he won a big match at the Royal Rumble a couple years ago. Had a WWE title match with Roman Reigns, and on top of that, he ended the longest reigning Intercontinental Championship reign of all time in Gunther. These things when now I will say this when people say that oh WWE and Triple H are just holding Sammy down, Sami Zayn, and again, I say that. By the way, let me just make this point for context. If anybody out there is thinking that, oh, it's Harrison all of a sudden defending Sami Zayn, no, 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 no. I'm just doing my best to be objective here. I will say this: I'm glad Sami Zayn's reign was only 9 days. I'm glad Punk beat him. So now there we go. I'll rip that band-aid off the skin for all of you. But when fans were, oh well, Sami Zayn's held down and no, Sami Zayn has been given very brother. The last okay, no. You will not sit and tell me that Sami Zayn went to go beat Solo Sikoa for the U.S. title last year for no reason. So don't tell me that Sami Zayn. Do not tell me that Sami Zayn is being held down or not given opportunities. No, 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 no. No, they let him win the WWE Championship in Saudi Arabia. All those things, I don't care whether it was under Vince or Triple H or whatever. Still, the guy has been treated pretty damn well. So don't give me all this bullshit. I'm sorry. No. Excuse my language, Tom, but no.
No,
But
I'm
I say
so
this
glad that I have somebody.
I say it as a hater. I don't like the guy, but even I'll
I'm
admit.
so glad that I have somebody on this podcast that shares the same points that I do with Sami Zayn. It's not even funny. Listen,
Now,
you're right.
now,
They gave
now,
him a record-breaking event.
it, now,
You
I
know,
will
the
say this.
longest
Now,
IC title reign, he breaks. He
broke it
wins the US title for no reason.
twice.
He main events with Roman Reigns.
Main events with his best friend Kevin Owens in
Main
their home
events
country
with his best friends in his home
in
country.
Canada.
And Canada, Montreal. How is he still, pardon my French, the effing underdog? How is he still an underdog? You cannot have that
Tom.
underdog title and accomplish all of this stuff and then be called an underdog.
Tom.
Because
No,
what?
Tom,
You
he's
haven't
got
won
the
a championship? Because he
Tom-
hasn't won a world championship? Get out
Tom,
of here.
you gotta be politically correct, Tom. He's no longer the underdog. He's the last real good guy. Okay, just correcting you, Tom.
Listen, I don't buy
Yes.
the "I'm the last good guy" thing. It's a bad slogan. It doesn't make any sense at all.
Okay, now allow me to now I'm sure all the comments people are gonna be mad at me and Tom. Now let me come back down to earth real quick. Now let me say again as a Sami Zayn hater, I will say, even though I'm happy, and again we're gonna get into this a little more. Okay, but hold on before we get into that. So Punk being a hypocrite, I don't believe that when you make the comparison to The Rock, sure he's older than The Rock was when The Rock was WWE champion when all that happened back in 2011. Um, when the fans say, "Well, he was gone and he does this and he just came back to do that and how long's he been here?" CM Punk rebuilt his relationship with WWE, swallowed his pride, became a better person. He just came off arguably the biggest storyline with Roman Reigns to date of the year, had an amazing match at WrestleMania, has been on a 2 or 3 year streak since being hurt, came back to entertain you fans, has been here weekly on TV, and the guy takes a little hiatus and then you dig him for it and you compare it to The Rock, who was gone from 2003 to 2011 to come back. And then you want to call, and then when the fans, and so that's why I don't think it's a hypocrite. And then you want to say that, oh, well, the pipe bomb speech was just Punk getting upset. Okay, fair point. There's I'll as an object. This is as from from Keaton Harrison to Phil Brooks. I will say this: you could argue it was a little bit of Punk being somewhat of a crybaby. However, it came from his heart. Now, again, I will say this: when the fans are saying, "Hey, well, how it was just him," look what the pipe bomb is a reflection of what he just now did. He's become what he's become the New York Yankees, like he told John Cena. If the WWE, you cannot compare. I don't believe you can compare the situations and have a substantiated hold up there because comparing Sami Zayn to WWE, seeing him not being a moneymaker and having him be a transitional champion, we'll get to that in just a moment. I feel for Sami, fine. I feel for the person behind the character. It kind of sucks, and we'll get to that in a moment. But for you to compare that to, oh, well, Punk, this is years of frustration speaking for that locker room. And then you want to call Punk a hypocrite? No. No, don't give me that bull. Is that fair?
I mean, that's more than fair. I mean, but again,
No, don't
what
give me that
people don't
bull.
understand is that the man may be also a part timer.
Okay,
But even so, if he is a part timer, even so, you can't get mad at him for taking a small hiatus, like you said, just coming off one of the biggest storylines in WWE history.
working 2 years straight at his
Working 2
age.
years
Come
straight
on, man.
at his age, yeah, give the man a little time to heal
And
and
he's already put
spend time with his
25 years
wife.
in the books. Yeah, no.
What more do you want? What else do you want him to give you?
It's takes like this one that make me a little up. It disappoints me in the IWC. It disappoints me. I'm sorry.
But you know what? See, what bothers me about this one when fans complain about this one, it bothers me when fans complain about Punk in general because I do like Punk. Don't let me fool you. Um,
Well, let him fool you, please. He'll fool you, ladies and gentlemen.
you know, it irritates me, man. It really irritates me with this. It really does because this man has spent 20 something years with this company. Yeah, he left because of such bullcrap. But again, he did that pipe bomb because the shit needed to be said. I'm sorry, but it needed to be said, and someone had to say it. It might as well have been Punk. And then he comes back. You're mad at him for winning the title because what? 9 days. The Miz had a 9-day reign. Okay, get over
Yeah,
yourselves.
I remember. I think the Miz had a 9-day reign. He was a transitional champion and he dropped it to Bobby
This
Lashley. I want
what
to say or something like
people
that.
Yeah, but what people are not realizing this could be Punk just went off another incredible story and just probably created another banger of a story.
Now,
Because now you got Punk involved with Cody, Gunther, Sammy, now Punk maybe being involved in this. This is, I mean, long-term storytelling at its finest. So let the people be mad. But they're gonna love it when the
and
when the
I
story
know. I'm not trying to
shines.
seem now. Now, let me be fair. Like I said, I'd be fair to Sami Zayn. Let me be fair to Sami Zayn after we kind of dunked on him just now for about 5 minutes straight. Um, I now with the topic of this being a transitional championship reign. Yes, as great as it is to see Punk champion again, 20 years to the date, the callback of long-term storytelling and all the fridge picture. I will say yes, it did feel slightly forced. It did feel a little disingenuous because Sami Zayn, and now where I kind of feel a little more because the surface take will be, oh man, Sammy was a transitional champion. The guy worked, and how dare Punk come back? My question comes a little more toward Cody because it kind of felt like, man, we just need to get the title off of Cody Rhodes and we just need to do something different. So just have it give to Sammy. Oh, a better idea. We're in Chicago next week. Just give it to CM Punk. So it's like it kind of felt like either Punk or Sammy, didn't matter who it was. It's just that they are like, we just need to get away from Cody Rhodes. Just make
I
sure
mean,
he doesn't
that's the
have it
thing though.
again.
But that's the thing
So
though.
so
It
during but the
is.
transitional champion thing gave it a little more of like a mm,
I mean, let's
that,
face facts. It was definitely we need to get the belt off Cody. We just don't know who to give it to right now. Oh, we're in Chicago.
So okay, now the final point, Tom, I think, and we can move on with the rest of Rock this because man, we spoke a lot. But something that you brought up before when we were on air. So there's another clip that's floating around the internet right now of Sami Zayn post loss to CM Punk when he's walking into Gorilla right there. He's kind of just sitting there, and it's a fan angle. It's one of the legendary fan camera angles that we all come to love because they show the emotion that we don't see on TV. And it's Sami Zayn crashing out, and flipping off the cameras. I will say this, Tom, if WWE does not 100% solidify Sammy being a full on heel now, he is just he can be mad. They can somehow find a reason for Sammy to just be horribly upset, and he could probably do this could be a good heel run now.
This is what I
So,
mean. Like this is what I mean. Heel turn at its finest. This is the perfect time to do it. But then again, this is TKO. They've had perfect opportunities to turn Sami Zayn heel for
but
weeks.
but but boy, but yes, but boy, man, now we waited for this moment, and this is why they waited. So let's see if they pull it off.
If they even if they pull it off at this point, they need to now. They should now because of all the backstage, camera angles and
Okay,
everything, and him
how
flipping
about
out.
we just do this? Fans, how about okay, viewers of the podcast, how about we just do this? We're gonna take Tom, we're gonna fold him up into a piece of paper, we're gonna ship him off in an envelope to Connecticut and have him go book this. We're gonna have him go book it, and we're gonna have Tom in creative because he knows what to do.
You
He's
don't
come
want me
on.
in creative.
We're gonna have Michael Hayes open up the envelope. Who's this? Bam! Tom's gonna punch Michael Hayes outside the
I'll just
envelope.
pop out in a suit and tie. It's like, move aside, Mr. Hammond. Come with me, sir. We gotta talk.
All right. And then Cody's in the background. What do you want to talk about? And LA's in the background. Yeah. All right. Speaking of
Simple
LA
as
Knight,
this. You're fired.
speak
You're gonna be champion, and you're fired.
yeah. Speaking of LA Knight, now let's go into chronological order. Now, we get to the opening segment, the second, I guess, opening segment of Raw. We had Seth Rollins coming out to the ring. Who Seth Rollins is a very, very passionate promo worker. I think actually a little underrated on the mic, but he
And
gets
this
into
is
business talking about the World Heavyweight Championship and how the World Heavyweight Championship is his business. Um, and he points into kids in the crowds like I was those kids, and I believed in myself, and gave a very passionate speech about how he believed in himself, and that's where he's at now. Um, and now here's a good point that I wrote down. He even the playing field by saying, "Well, Roman said he has to beat me because I've always owned him, and Roman needs." He even admitted himself, Roman needs to win to beat me, but I need to beat Roman. I need to beat Roman. And he kind of evened out the playing field with this motivation because it kind of felt a little one sided with Roman admitting that he had to beat Seth, but now Seth this week in his promo said, "Well, I need to beat Roman because of my own reasons because I need to keep that promise to that 8-year old Seth Rollins in the front row that I can be something because Roman's always achieved more than I have." But anyway, um, LA Knight gets the pop of the night. I'm sorry, no, CM Punk. LA Knight gets the second biggest pop of the night for the first time in a long time. LA Knight, this is what I wrote down, Tom, and you can comment. LA Knight cooks in this promo, dude. Cooked Seth Rollins. LA Knight just cooks in this. And he's like, remember, well, he's mimicking, Roman and Seth talking, well, brother, we'll get the same haircut, brother. That made me pop. But LA Knight, this is what I like about LA Knight. This promo just felt different. At first, I was like, oh my God, I kept thinking what Triple H was saying. Oh, the good things come to those who wait. Because that's kind of the theme is like, man, he hasn't really achieved that spot we want him to, but these promos keep us coming back. And I thought to myself during this promo, well, how much longer can LA keep us, but then I was like, this is another promo that kept me coming back and related to him. And here's what he said. He's like, "Hey, Seth, I remember, it's funny how you just come and talk to your brother, and get a title match. But boy, I remember a time not long ago where you had to win tournaments and earn your shot. Remember that, Seth? Oh, but don't worry, because you were eliminated in the first round of the King of the Ring. Don't worry, my friend, I was too." He's calling Seth and saying, "Well, oh, so you can just come out here and okay." And this is what I wrote down, Tom. I like how LA Knight is grounded in reality because the next line he says is, and this is probably my favorite line. Seth, I know you've had all the world titles, and I'm not going to catch you. I understand that the clock is not in my favor, but I will rise. because I must rise because you keep cutting me off. The vision, the bloodline. I will rise, and because I must rise. But your thoughts on this whole segment, Tom, please.
Well, when LA Knight came out, I was shocked because I was wondering what is LA Knight coming out for.
Yeah,
He has no business being involved in this. It confused me at first, but when they started, doing the promo, start feeding off each other, and then the moment the line hit, I must do this, I must do what I have to do, or whatever he said, I'm thinking, okay, his time's coming really quickly. And then Seth looks at him and says, when I get that championship back that I've never lost, because granted, for some reason he thinks he never lost it. Uh, that's a different story there. Uh, he's gonna give LA Knight a shot. Maybe they'll
and
want to
be
be
the
the
first
first
one to
person,
stop him into the dirt.
and be the first person to stop in the dirt. I see in the mid future that we might be seeing LA Knight in the title picture. Not soon, but down the line.
I've come to the realization if LA Knight never wins a world title in his career,
He doesn't
oh
really
well.
need it.
At this point, I've come to. I think that the good thing comes to those who wait is the fan adoration because not all people. I will put it this way: besides all championships, the adoration of the fans and how they've stuck with him, those that the energy, that relation that he's kept consistently, even through horrible booking. That's something that not all wrestlers get. That's something that a lot of wrestlers die for. They can never get that. So if LA Knight never wins a championship, boy, you know what, dude?
It really
I'm
wouldn't
I'm
matter.
still on board. I'm still on board with LA Knight. I don't care.
You know, that's the thing though. You have some of these wrestlers that really don't need a championship run to be great. The Undertaker won that championship, what, 3 times? One he never really won. He didn't really want
I
it.
think it was a five. I think it was a 4 or 5 time world champ. Undertaker 4 or 5 times.
Well,
I
even
forgot.
I forgot myself. That's why I just pulled the number out of my ass. You have guys like Rey Mysterio. Won it a couple of times. Still gets himself over without even having one. Guys like that, and LA is one of those guys. LA Knight's one of those guys where, yeah, he might just not need one. Jey Uso is probably the same case.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the Usos, hold that thought. As Seth Rollins leaves the ring and the promo segment's over, the camera pans to LA Knight. Okay, okay, okay. Then the camera pans back out and we see the entirety of the ring, and behind him is standing Jimmy Uso, who gets his lick back on LA Knight by giving him a super kick. And that ends the segment. So, um, great opening. Both those segments. Great
But
opening
yeah,
to Monday Night Raw. Great
absolutely.
opening. Um, Now when we come back from commercial break, I didn't even realize. Maybe I'm missing something, and that's like I usually do. But this was a World Tag Team Championship match. The Vision versus the Street Profits. I mean, they get their rematch. Maybe I'm missing something, but anyway, we get to it, and I wrote down a couple notes. Some in ring. I was a little more thorough for me this week. Montez Ford looks incredibly smooth. In this part of this, Angelo Dawkins being around the 6'3" ish mark, I believe, 245, 250 pound mark, does a beautiful standing drop kick to Austin Theory. Oh, beforehand, but by the way, and this will play after the match. Uh, they're getting interviewed by Jackie Redmond, and Paul Heyman walks up and he's like, "Just step aside. You couldn't take out Joe Hendry, and you couldn't do that. You couldn't take out Seth Rollins. If you don't make something happen tonight, don't bother coming back." So the pressure's on. Anyway, the spot that takes us to commercial break is Braun Breaker running the ropes at 23 miles an hour, which I love. It's such a simple concept, but it fits him, man. And he kills, just
Oh yeah.
kills Dawkins.
Oh yeah.
kills Dawkins with that running clothesline, and that takes us to commercial break. Now, when we come back, to this from commercial break, is when we actually add a little more action, but really what gets us into the finish of the match, if you will. Logan Paul is distracting, of course, a member of the division. The numbers games are starting to work against the profits, and we'll speak of numbers here right now. The brass knucks enter the equation. Dawkins gets them and is gonna beat up Theory. And who comes in to save the day? Miss Stacy Keebler, Maxine Dupree, who's been hanging out with Austin Theory. Um, and just, I wrote this down because I seen this on Twitter, and it was too good of a line to not say this and describe it. The Vision wins the tag team championships via Dawkins' bloodline getting destroyed by Maxine Dupree. Your thoughts?
Huh. You know, uh,
Yes. Richard Holiday would be proud with that. Boy.
right. But you know what, man? You know what, man? Maxine Dupree showing up doesn't really quite surprise me much, because, she blew off
It
Chad
doesn't.
Gable twice, and
Yeah.
we've seen
And
her
she's been also
backstage.
blowing off Otis and Tozawa.
Right, and you see her backstage with Theory and the Vision. So this didn't surprise me none. I'm glad that it happened.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
do I think the Vision need the tag team titles?
No, I don't, but the ecosystem on Raw,
Yeah,
who else is there? Who
right.
else?
That
There's no one.
I get
So
it.
why not?
I can
You know
see why
you know
they
what,
did it
Tom?
because
You know what, Tom? Next week, here's what we're gonna do, Tom. Next week, let's give it back to the profits. Why not? But through all this, Dawkins gets his bloodline absolutely demolished by and wiped out by Maxine, but Austin Theory gets a big old kiss in the through to end the segment. And the fireworks go off for 4th of July. I guess you could say it was a very patriotic scene, the kiss and the fireworks and new titles, whatever. Um, Backstage, we see Paul Heyman talking to the Vision. Okay, well, this is just step one. You still have some digging to. You got to dig yourself out of this. And he looks at Theory and like, oh, hey, at least you accomplished something. And Theory is like, oh, thanks, Paul. Appreciate it. And he looks, he goes, I was talking to her. She accomplished something, not you. And he walks
yeah,
off.
yeah, yeah.
um, so the next thing next part we go to, um, actually, no, do you see Maxine Dupree, Tom, being beneficial to the Vision? Because she joined the Vision now, right? She's officially in the Vision, right? Like she
I
joined,
see.
correct?
I see Max. I see her joining and then them kicking out Theory.
What a bold prediction. We will see if that comes to fruition. That's a
I feel like the Vision
possibly.
is going to kick Theory out because Paul Heyman just does not see any interest with Austin Theory at all. And it took 2 segments to tell that story.
That could be something. That could be something. Definitely.
Took
So
2 segments. You see Paul Heyman look at Austin Theory like, and like you're not special.
yeah, no, you're not. I
Like
don't think. I
I
think
don't care
Austin.
about you. No,
I kind of
let's
now that you pointed that out. Now that you pointed it out, I can't unsee that. So I'll be looking out for that the next couple weeks.
watch,
Um,
folks.
so something that did spawn or spiral out, if you will, from this week is Raquel Rodriguez was made official last week that Raquel Rodriguez will have well, I'm she took on Maxine Dupree last week. But this week she does have her Intercontinental Championship title match with one Sol Ruca. This match, I didn't write down much for this match because unfortunately, as much as I love both performers, this match didn't really. I don't have much, so we're gonna get to this quick because I just don't. I don't know if you wrote down name much. I didn't. All I wrote down was Sol Ruca counters Raquel Rodriguez's power with a bunch of her flip high flyer style. Um, Now there was a spot where Liv Morgan and Roxanne get involved to help Raquel, and they got me with a spot. I think it was a spinning sidewalk slam to Sol Ruca, and I was like, "Oh, are they gonna give the title to Raquel Rodriguez? Really? Oh, no, they didn't. Okay." But then again, Sol Ruca just won it. They're not gonna take the title off of Sol Ruca. I will say, Tom, I was screaming at the top of my lungs, "Give the title to Raquel Rodriguez, please!" And they didn't. So, Sol Ruca retains via Io Sky interference. Tom, do you have any thoughts on this?
No, because it's just basic storytelling, as it is. Liv Morgan trying to interfere, Io Sky coming down for the
More
rescue,
Judgment Day stuff, yeah.
more judgment. More Judgment
I
Day
feel like if
stuff.
anything, yeah, I feel
So
like if anything,
Luca
this
hits the
this was
Soul Snatcher and retains. It's
yeah, yeah. So, if
basic
anything, I feel like it was more. This was more or less to
filler.
further the Io Sky and Liv Morgan story. If anything,
Right. It was a filler. It was a filler match for Raw for sure. At least
yeah, it
that's what I
was.
felt like.
Yeah, yeah, I know. So our next segment, is probably, I would say, besides the CM Punk and Sami Zayn segment, might be your favorite of the night, Tom. And so we get into Paul
I'm a
Heyman,
Paul Heyman guy.
arguably the best. It's Paul Heyman. If you guys haven't, if anybody has not figured out yet, Tom here is a Paul Heyman guy.
I need a
He
Paul
is.
Heyman guy shirt. I need one of those because I am a Paul Heyman guy. I love, because Paul Heyman is such a genius in the wrestling business, man. You give this man a mic.
Tom, make sure to drop your PO box so so one of our generous listeners can send you a "I'm a Paul Heyman guy" T-shirt in the comments.
Because, let me tell you, you give this man a mic, you give this man a script, all he has to do is look at it and say, okay,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm going to go
pretty
out
much.
there and do my thing.
That's it.
I'm the
Yeah,
same damn way. I am literally the same way. I literally can look at an assignment and go, okay, I'm going out to do
yeah.
my thing.
Oh yeah,
And, I do it for this podcast, folks. I'm not going to lie. He has notes. I will literally look at my notes once and go, okay, and then toss them aside.
yeah.
He
And
has to
I think
look at
that
his
balances
notes.
out real well. Yeah,
He's got to look at his notes.
yeah. I do. I'm more of a thought process type of guy.
and
I can do improv. You know,
and
I
it's
can
and
improvise
it's
fairly well,
it,
but
it's nothing against you. It's nothing against you or anything. It's just a
it's
spoiler.
everything against Tom. It's everything against me. Stop messing with my feelings.
It's
Everything
just a
is against me, Tom.
spoiler. It's just a spoiler. It's just a spoiler. But anyway, we get the
So
genius Paul Heyman
so we get Mr. Paul Heyman in the ring, and of course he's interrupted by Obafemi,
cuts
and
a great
that
promo. Oh,
Chicago crowd just serenades Obafemi again.
of course, no matter where this man goes, he's sumariated. No matter where he goes, he's getting a huge pop. He's Oba Femi, Mr. King
Yeah.
of the Ring.
Yes, Mr. King of the Ring. Thank God. Now Obafemi's King of the Ring. Oh my goodness. I can't wait.
Thank you.
I mean, not that I can't wait. I can't I'm so glad that they actually pulled the trigger on that one, man.
I'm really glad that they did too. But here's the thing though, Heel, about that. We all knew it was coming. Come on. As soon as we saw that card and Oba Femi was on that top card, we knew who was winning that King of the Ring. For the men, at least. For the women, the women, I'm not gonna lie, it was a little tricky. But it
Yeah.
is mentioned. Brock Lesnar is being mentioned by, once again, Oba Femi. And he runs
He
down
is
and
mentioned
says,
again.
everything I
Paul
said about
Heyman,
Brock, I was right. And Oba Femi is right, in a way. Brock Lesnar shows up whenever he is mentioned or
yeah,
talked ill about.
yep. And
But the
Paul
best...
Heyman kind of
Sorry,
sets
man.
he's setting the
Sorry, man.
tone here. He's setting the tone here with no, go ahead, it's fine. Paul just sets the tone here for Oba and reminds him, well, Brock has done this. Are you sure that you are 1-on-1 with Brock Lesnar? Brock Lesnar is the guy. This is the former UFC heavyweight champion. This is somebody
The
who is a
man...
mountain. This is a mountain you cannot
You
climb,
cannot
Oba.
climb. And he mentioned that Brock Lesnar's been inside the Hell in a Cell
Twice.
twice with the Undertaker, and
and beat
beat
him
him
both times.
twice in the Hell in a Cell. he called it the Brockzadon, dude. He
I
called it
like that
the
line.
Brockzadon. And let me tell you, when Paul Heyman sells Brock Lesnar so fucking good, and this is what I mean by Paul Heyman being a genius. You can just see Obafemi just soaking it in, thinking about what he's going to say next. And he delivers one of the best lines in a promo I could ever hear. You have to climb through hell to get to heaven? Then
wrote that
tell
down.
Brock
I
I
wrote
will
that down.
see him
Oh, such
in
a good
hell.
line.
It was such a good line, and I follow that till this day. Always I follow that. You have to climb through hell to get through heaven. I firmly believe that. I firmly believe that because
I do
I
too.
had to climb through my hell and through life to get to my heaven in life. This is it. This is the line I flipped my lid on. You have to climb through hell to get to heaven. So tell your client, I will see
I'll
him
see you
in hell. Drop the mic. Now that was a pipe bomb. That
You know what, dude? Here's
is
the
how
thing.
you end a
With
promo.
I believe that this feud with Brock Lesnar, this early on in Oba's career,
Oh,
is one of those feuds that is not only going to set the tone for Obafemi, but it's something that we're going to look back on when Oba is having his Hall of Fame speech. We're going to go, you know what? Years down the line, when he's having an interview with Chris Van Vliet, we're going to let Chris is going to go, walk me through that just incredible, absolutely incredible spot or storyline with Brock Lesnar. I mean, that really puts you up on top of it. I can see it now. I hope that was a good Chris Van Vliet impression. But my final thought on this, Tom, boy, and again, it's in Minnesota. It's in Hell in a Cell. You know who's going over, and it's Obafemi. It
honestly,
has to
at
be.
this point,
It has to
I'm
be.
sorry, dude, but at this point, I don't know. I don't know. At this point, I don't
I'll
know.
put it this way. I think I think that Brock Lesnar in Minnesota, I believe Brock Lesnar is a good enough worker and he sees enough in Obafemi, he will put over Obafemi
Do
and then ride off into the sunset.
I
I
do
think he'll put
not
over Obafemi.
think I have to stop you there. I do not think that we're done with Oba and Brock just yet. I think this is
I
just
think
the
we are.
beginning. I think this is just the beginning of what could be maybe a one more off. And it leads to retirement match because they did not once mention that this is a retirement match. No, this is just a Hell in a Cell match where two
Yeah, but you also have to remember. But yeah,
monstrous men are stepping inside. Hold on, I'm not done. When you have two monstrous men stepping inside, this is not going to be Brock's final match. I'm calling it down the line right now. We're going to get Oba Brock one last time after SummerSlam. I believe we might get it at WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar retires at WrestleMania.
I
That or the
know we
Royal
did get
Rumble.
I know we did get the one at Mania this past year at Mania where Brock took out the boots and cried and retired. That was number one, where Oba beat him and squashed him pretty much. Then we got Clash Italy one where Oba lost, so now that makes him 1-1. I think the trilogy one over here in Minnesota
No,
with
let's quote
the
it
Hell
what
in the
Paul
Cell,
Heyman
and that's
quoted
the
it.
thing too is the stipulation. That's the thing I have to, I also too have to take into consideration. You can't make it bigger than the Hell in the Cell. The stipulation. This is the blow off. This is it right here. I don't think that this is. I think we're done after this. My personal opinion.
I don't think we are. I really don't
Okay.
think we are. Because the stipulation of the match is Hell in a Cell. But where's the actual stipulation? Where's the this is the end for
It's
you?
Hell in a Cell.
No. This is just gonna prove the point. Who's the unbeatable one? Cause they're 1-1. Paul Heyman said it himself. At WrestleMania, you proved to the world that Brock Lesnar was beatable. At Clash, Brock Lesnar proved that Obafemi is beatable. Hell in a Cell, we will see only one stand tall who is the unbeatable force. That's what it's about. Who's the actual unbeatable force? Brock Lesnar or Obafemi? There's no retirement. There's no retirement mentioned. This is why I think we're going to get one last round with Brock Lesnar and Obafemi. I beat you. I became unbeatable. You want to try at me again? Fine. You get you one last match, Brock, but this time, your career is on the line.
We will see. We will see. And this is one of the times in the podcast where I will ask you fans, comment down below, who is right, me or Tom? We'll see. But in our final segment on Monday Night Raw, actually not the final segment because we already covered the main event, which that was a great one.
Right.
We have my guy Ali go Ethan Page, baby, and Rusev. And you know what, Tom? Even though, again, I understand this is, I think I speak for both of us. And again, Ethan Page impersonator here. If no one's seen it yet, I do think that we could have, this isn't exactly what I want for Ethan. I think it's more organic climb for him, and I'm okay with that. I kind of come to like the dynamic that him and Rusev had together, the big brute, and Ethan's just like, okay, well,
Ethan makes
yeah,
Rusev look 10 times better. He really does.
yeah, he does. He does.
He told him to break that man's back. He stomped on his back, put in the acolyte, and then after they got him off him, what did Ethan Page do? Headlock,
This is the
smile.
most TV. This is the most TV time Rusev's got in a long time since he's been with
Absolutely.
Ethan Page
Ethan
because of
Page,
Ethan Page. Yes.
I think TKO putting Ethan Page and Rusev was a very smart decision for both of them. For both of them. Because Rusev makes Ethan Page look good. 100%. And Ethan Page just makes Rusev gold.
And we're going up against Chad Gable, and they went up against Chad Gable and Dragon Lee. Now, and of course, we've seen an interaction with them earlier in the night to set this match
Yeah.
up. Chad Gable again is on a roll right now. I think we know where this is heading. However,
Amazing theme
um,
song.
yes, great theme song. I actually like it. A couple things I wrote down for this match. One of the first things in the match we see is a really good boot from Ethan Page to Dragon Lee.
Yeah.
Kind of snaps off
That was a
the
nasty boot.
face.
That was a nasty boot.
He tags in Rusev, and we get a Rusev Day chant. That's interesting.
Yeah,
We get a Rusev
yeah.
Day chant.
I've
After that, I didn't really write down much. I just kind of skipped to the finish of the match. I mean, I don't really have anything much. I mean, good performers. Don't get me wrong, good performers. I wasn't asleep. But Lee ends up
yes, he
tapping
was.
to Lee ends up tapping to Rusev. And then Joe Hendry makes the save. Now, 2 points to go off this. Next week, we do have a gauntlet eliminator. We have Javon Evans, Dominic Mysterio, Rusev, Chad Gable, Dragon Lee, and All Ego Ethan Page in a gauntlet eliminator to see who will be the number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, hold on. Even though I'm an Ethan Page guy and I'm still under the impression, I know that I'm not giving up. Ethan Page, All Ego, he will 100% have the Intercontinental Championship very, very soon. However,
One day.
I believe in All Ego, no doubt about it. I'm not slowing down. But there's a guy in this match that needs it right now, and they need to
More than
capitalize on
anything.
him. That's Chad Gable.
Yep.
Chad Gable needs to go on to face Penta at SummerSlam, and he needs to win the Intercontinental Championship. And damn it, they need to do it right this time.
And you know what?
Give
I
Chad
agree with
Gable the
you.
Intercontinental Championship.
I agree
I'm
with you.
serious.
I agree with you. This is the time to put the strap on Chad Gable. I've never been this hot for Chad Gable in a very long time. And I wasn't really big on Chad Gable when he first got in because he just seemed cocky, arrogant, and I didn't like him. Didn't like him then. Now I love this man. I loved him when he was underneath that. I loved him when he was underneath that mask. I thought it was ridiculous at first, but then it grew on me.
Yeah.
I watch Triple A religiously now.
I think, and the reason why
so much more so than NXT.
Yeah. Now, the reason why I say do it this time around is because Chad Gable, before, of course, the inception of El Grande Americano, this is last year or 2 years ago, probably. Um, Chad Gable, Chad Gable was involved in another gauntlet type. It was Ricochet, Bronson
Yeah.
Reed, Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, a couple other guys, um, uh, possibly an Otis or something like that, where Chad was a part of it, and everybody was like, "Oh man, Chad's going to do it," and it ended up being Sami Zayn. So now I think WWE has the opportunity to rewrite history and do it right this time and have Chad Gable go on. If they don't, I'm going to be I'm going to be pulling my lip so hard that I might bleed because how do you not do that? Anyway, my second point being is that after the match, Joe Hendry made the save, and Ethan Page with the ending shot was Ethan Page had him in a headlock, and so and then Ethan made a post over on X with that picture with Joe in a headlock, and he's like this, and the caption that Ethan said was, "Hey, well, Joe, I guess I'm gonna beat your ass forever." So I would probably say that since Chad Gable will go over next week, the following week,
I'm not
Joe
gonna lie.
Hendry
I
Joe
like the
Hendry will
fact.
it'll probably be Joe Hendry versus Ethan Page one-on-one
Right.
soon.
And you know what? I like the fact that Ethan Page lifted up Joe Hendry's head in a headlock and did his, with a smile. I thought that was such a arrogant, cocky move. I'm like,
Yeah.
you son of a bitch. I'm
Oh, it's
like,
Ethan
this
Page?
is what
Yeah.
a heel needs
Yeah.
to be. When I see Ethan Page, I look at him like, this is exactly what I want my heel to be. I want to be able to punch as soon as I see you on my TV screen. I want to put my fist through it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
And every time
Yeah.
I see Ethan Page, I want to put my fist through the damn TV because he's that
Yes.
good.
Yes.
And
He's
that's
that
why
good.
I like Ethan
Oh,
Page. He is that good.
Joe Hendry, I forgot. Next week it will also be Joe Hendry. He's in the
Don't
match
say
too.
his
So there you
name.
go.
Don't say his name.
Sorry. Sorry.
Because if you say his
Well,
name, he's going to show up. Either
like I
on
said,
one of
Ethan
our
Page.
Twitters.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, all of you go over to WWE Shop right now because Ethan Page does have some new merchandise out, 2 new T-shirts. Make sure you go fill that guy's pockets because he is the best heel on the roster right now. You heard it here first from Heel Harrison. Go follow me on TikTok. I'm an Ethan Page impersonator. Go put money in that man's pockets because he's awesome. So, Tom, with all that being said, we do have a stacked Raw next week.
We do.
Are you ready for next week's podcast?
That next week's going to be fun, depending on what happens on Monday Night Raw. I know I had fun on this podcast because of this Raw. This Raw took me back so many years. Again, I haven't been this pumped in a very long time for wrestling. And this is when I love when wrestling does this.
The
To
title
me,
for this
guys,
podcast, the title for this podcast, ladies and gentlemen, will be episode number 9.
nostalgia.
Tom goes back to 1998.
Tom goes back in time. This is me going back in
Tom goes
time.
back in
This is
time.
me going back in time as a little kid. This is how I was as a little kid, just fanatic about wrestling like how I am now. This is what I long to see every week. And so far, every week has been like it's been Road to WrestleMania. Every single week. And this is what I want. Entertainment.
Me too. Me too.
But TKO, please, for the love that everything that is holy, flip the switch on the heel turn of Sami Zayn, put good workers in the ring, let them do what they do, and you're gonna have a phenomenal show. With that being said, folks, ship me into a mail letter, send me to Connecticut, let them open me up, and I will take control. And I'll tell you, every night would be on fire.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, thank you for joining us for episode number 9 of our Raw review and the Wrestling with the Marks, Tom and Harrison podcast. Tom, if you're ready, sir, I'm ready to
Well,
sign off. Are you?
I do have one announcement for
Oh, go ahead.
episode 10. I figured for our episode 10 would be what? A gorilla episode?
Yeah.
I figured that since it's our episode 10, me and him, talk backstage, guys. We do. Um, we didn't think that we would ever make it to 10 episodes. We didn't even think we'd make it through 8, to be quite honest. Um, Regardless of how many views or subscribers we get, we haven't discussed, but I'm trying to discuss it with Heel, and I want to bring it out to you live on this podcast, that we do a lot. We eventually go live some way or another. And I'm
All
hoping
right.
to figure out how to do that soon, guys, so that way we do a live to where me and Heel just sit down and chill, talk about wrestling, go back in time, talk about the future, what may and may not happen, what so have you. Well, that being said, Heel, I think you can sign us off.
Well, here's my answer to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us for this episode. We are here every week for the Tom and Harrison podcast, Wrestling with Marks. Please go follow me over on TikTok at Heel Harrison. Please go follow Tom at Tom King. Make sure you guys are supporting us. Thank you for the likes and subscribes and for the views. God bless you. I will see you for the next episode.
Peace.